You have surely struggled with an onion using this small grater. It is difficult, time-consuming, and makes your eyes water. I have this simple, empty cookie tin. You might think it's only good for storing sewing supplies or heading to the recycling bin, but I'll show you how to give it a completely new purpose. I'll flip the tin over and mark the exact center of the bottom. Then, I'm using a drill to create a hole right where I marked. This hole needs to be perfectly centered because it will house our rotating mechanism, and we want it to spin smoothly without wobbling. I'm taking a small cutting disc to use as a template. I'll trace a circle around it near the edge of the tin's bottom. This opening is vital because it's where our vegetables will be pushed through to meet the blades. Leave a comment and let me know which country you are watching from. It's great that we can connect and chat from all over the world. I need a sturdy backing. I'm placing the tin on a thick piece of gray PVC plastic and tracing the outline. I'll cut out this large plastic circle. This will serve as the mounting plate for our cutting blades, so it needs to be strong and rigid. I'm using a ruler to divide this plastic disc into 3 equal sections, marking them clearly. Then, I'll draw a small rectangular slot in each section and cut them out. These slots are where the sliced vegetables will pass through after being cut, allowing for continuous operation. Next, I'll drill a hole in the center of the disc and 3 smaller holes near each of the slots. These smaller holes will be used to securely attach our cutting blades in the next step. For the cutting mechanism, I'm using 3 sharp utility knife blades. I'll apply some hot glue near the slots and carefully position the blades so the sharp edge slightly overlaps the gap. This setup will act exactly like a food processor blade, slicing anything pushed against it as it spins. While the glue helps initially, we need a stronger connection. So, I'm inserting small nuts and bolts through the holes we drilled earlier to firmly clamp the blades to the plastic disc. Safety is crucial when working with sharp blades. Now, I'm taking a long bolt, adding a washer and a nut, and inserting it through the center hole of our blade assembly. If you find this video interesting, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any interesting ideas coming soon. I'll secure it tightly on the other side with another nut. This bolt is extremely important as it acts as the drive shaft that will allow us to spin the blades. To make it easier to turn, I'm adding a small wooden dowel with a hole drilled through it. This will act as a comfortable handle for our slicing wheel. Let's build the feeding tube. I'm taking a piece of wide PVC pipe and marking a rectangular section on the side. Using an angle grinder, I'll carefully cut out this window. This creates an easy loading bay where we will drop our onions into the slicer. Now we need a mechanism to push the onion against the blades safely. I have 2 wooden discs cut to fit inside the pipe. I'll assemble a threaded rod with a spring, pass it through 1 wooden disc, add a smaller wooden handle, and secure it. Then, I attach the second wooden disc to the other end. The spring is the secret here. It will provide constant pressure to feed the onion forward automatically. To keep the back end securely in place, I'm drilling small pilot holes through the pipe, then securing it with screws. I'll slide this pusher assembly into the PVC pipe. Now, we have a fully functional spring-loaded feeding chamber. It's time to connect the main pieces. I'll apply a generous amount of hot glue around the base of the PVC feeding tube and firmly press it over the large hole we cut into the bottom of the cookie tin. This merges our food chamber directly with the cutting area. The original opening of the tin isn't quite right for the sliced food to exit. So I'm measuring and marking a section along the side of the tin. Using the grinder, I'll cut away a wide portion of the sidewall to create a large chute for the sliced onions to fall out easily. I'll make sure to use sandpaper to smooth out any sharp metal edges so we don't cut ourselves later. Now I can install the cutting wheel. I'll place the blade disc inside the tin, passing the center drive shaft through the small hole we drilled in the bottom of the tin earlier. The blades are now perfectly positioned right in front of the feeding tube opening. To hold the slicer steady, I'm building a simple, heavy stand. I will glue a thick wooden strip to a wooden block on the base. After that, I will use screws to securely attach this onion cutter to the wooden block. This rigid base will keep the whole device upright and prevent it from moving around during heavy slicing. The assembly is completely finished. Let's test the handle rotation. It spins wonderfully smoothly, and the blades pass perfectly flush with the feeding tube opening. The spring-loaded pusher feels great. This homemade mechanism is incredibly sturdy. I'll pull back the spring-loaded plunger and load a fresh, peeled onion into the feeding chamber. Watch closely as I turn the crank. Look how perfectly it works. We are getting beautifully even onion slices falling out in seconds. The spring keeps the pressure constant, meaning my hands stay completely safe from the blades while the machine does all the work. If you enjoyed this project and found it inspiring, please give this video a big thumbs up, share it with your friends, and leave a comment below telling me what other unexpected tools you'd like to see me create. Don't forget to subscribe for more fantastic DIY ideas. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.